Nowadays, YouTube is the number one place where people go to get information and to learn from people who are working in real time. So, for this reason, I'm rounding up my favorite YouTubers that you need to keep an eye on in 2024. Let's jump right into it. Now, if you're new here, my name is Liz and I help coaches and consultants add video to their business. Be sure to subscribe so that you never miss any of my future content. Now, last year I did a similar roundup of some of my favorite YouTubers, and they're my favorite for different reasons. And in fact, I really love to watch YouTube channels where I can learn something new and try to implement them right away. If I find that the YouTuber is just full of a lot of fluff or basic information, I will jump off of there right away. So I wanted to share some of my top picks with you because I think that these YouTubers are those that will really teach you valuable information at a deeper level and also give you tactical strategy so that you can start implementing right away. If you're a business owner, then you do not have time, my friends, to be watching videos that are full of theoretical knowledge without enough idea of how to implement this. You always want to be following YouTubers who are showing you the next step in the path that you are already on. So jump onto my laptop with me while I go over some of my top picks. So here we are on my laptop, and I'm going to quickly share with you some of the top YouTubers that I think you should be following in 2024. So the first is my mentor, Siddharth Rajsekar. So he specializes in teaching you how to create an online coaching business and really to become a digital coach. So when you follow his channel, you'll be able to get tons and tons of great information about how to sell via a webinar, how to create your content, how to build out your business in a way without burning out. And he's got tons of success stories on here as well. So definitely check him out. My second recommendation is another one of my mentors who's actually responsible for helping me to build my business in the first place. And her name is Louise Henry. So on her channel, she will teach you how to use systems in a way that simplifies your entire business and helps you just to get your online business up and running. So through her, I learned how to build my website and set up all of my systems. And it was a really easy, foolproof plan that she had laid out for us. So definitely check out her channel and she will help you going as soon as possible. Next, I want to recommend one called The Future, which is The Future without an E at the end. This is run by a gentleman named Chris Do, and his specialist is branding. So he does corporate branding, personal branding, and what he does is he posts these longer length videos on his YouTube channel, which are kind of masterclass style, where he teaches you, how to build your brand, how to build your offer, how to structure your pricing, and how to actually package everything about your brand in a way that it really hits home with your audience. So this is a really informative channel as well. Next, I want to recommend Evelyn Weiss. And I used to follow her mainly to learn about Facebook ads, but truly she's a specialist at helping you build a membership, especially a mini membership where you focus on low ticket products. So if you want to get your digital products business off the ground, then definitely Evelyn is going to be able to show you how to do that. And then her channel also has things about coaching and Facebook ads. And speaking of ads, definitely check out the channel of Ben Heath. So he is a Facebook ads specialist, and he takes a lot of the complicated things about ads that usually hold a lot of entrepreneurs back from dabbling in ads in the first place, and then he simplifies a lot of that. So I've been able to learn a lot about ads through his channel, and he kind of walks you through a lot of the do's and don'ts about how to have successful ad campaigns. So check out his as well. Now let's change gears a little bit and have a look at a couple channels that are a little bit different from the usual business channels. So the first one that I want to recommend is called Paper and Roses, and I just recently found her on Instagram, in fact, and her specialty is teaching you how to make your iPad the most productive piece of equipment that you have. And I'm somewhat new to using an iPad. I'm definitely a Mac and iPhone girl, but from watching this channel, I've learned about digital planning, how to to include digital products online on my Mac so that I can really practically run my full business off of my iPad if I wanted to. I don't even have to open up my laptop anymore. So her channel is a really fun one. She sells and teaches different digital planning tools, and you'll learn a little bit there if you are an iPad user. So definitely check her out. The next one I want to mention is Mariana Vieira. So she is a productivity specialist, and she has courses and workshops that she runs about productivity. But I like her sort of gentle way that she goes about teaching on her YouTube channel about different ways to do work, different ways to manage your calendar, your tasks, different systems that can help you to be productive and organized. And I always learn a ton here. And I notice that she doesn't just try to promote one or two different ways of doing things. She really looks at all the different angles of the different tools that she recommends, and she gives you a really full picture about them so that you can try them out and make decisions on your own. Next, let's talk about Wes McDowell. So he's somebody that I've followed for some time now, and what he does is shows you the best way to develop your website so that it can actually attract your audience and be really SEO optimized, I'd say, search engine optimized. So he shows you a lot of different tools you can add to your website, different ways that you can create your landing pages, the do's and don'ts of running ads to your website. So if you're somebody who really uses your site as a main source of traffic for your customers and for your cold audiences especially, then definitely check out Wes McDowell because he's a real expert in this. Next, I want to show you one called Modern Wisdom. So I found this site mainly because of the podcast associated with this. So this is run by a gentleman named Chris Williamson. And he talks about, there isn't one specific topic, but, the idea of modern wisdom. So he likes to invite on guests. So it's always like a guest podcast style. And he talks about different topics: productivity, spirituality, fitness, diet, entertainment, every single topic under the sun. So he likes to bring on different experts and then he talks to them about that. But what I like about it is that it's a little bit of a different channel from what I'm sort of used to watching on YouTube, like business and productivity. It gives you a sense of different topics that you never thought about before, the way that the experts and the research all talk about these different topics. So I kind of quite like it, and I try to catch up on some of these. Most of his videos are longer in length because, in fact, they follow his podcast, which are over an hour. So if you've got the time and the patience to watch that, then definitely you'll learn stuff there. But he always includes snippets from each of his main full-length podcasts and videos. So you can just watch those snippets in less than 10 minutes. Now we're interrupting this video so that I can remind you to subscribe. I think you should do that first. And if you're ready to finally get started with video this year, then I encourage you to join me at my next live free webinar, where I'm going to go over 3 of the top things that you can get started with this week to add video to your business. Now let's jump back to our video. And I want to give 2 honorable mentions here at this point. One is the Mel Robbins YouTube channel. And the reason that I'm giving it an honorable mention as opposed to just including it in the list otherwise is because I am a huge fan of Mel Robbins' podcast. And the YouTube channel is one that follows the podcast exactly. So that means when she's recording the podcast, she's capturing the video at that same time and then posting that. So that's basically the YouTube. So you kind of don't have to follow both, meaning if you follow the podcast, it's the same content as on the YouTube and vice versa. So the reason that it's an honorable mention here is so that in case you're not a big podcast fan, then definitely check out the YouTube channel because you still want the information. So her channel is somewhat similar to Chris Williamson's Modern Wisdom in the sense that she invites on guests to talk about every topic under the sun, and you are always going to learn a ton there. So, what I really like about her topics is that she presents everything in a really actionable way. You don't just listen to the podcast or watch the YouTube and then just walk away with just ideas. You really walk away with steps about things that you can start working on right away to better your life and improve everything about your different situations. So, definitely check her out if that's of interest to you. And another honorable mention to Alex Hormozy. So why am I giving him an honorable mention? Now, he also does have a podcast, and he's got a very active Instagram and TikTok channel. The reason that I'm giving him an honorable mention as opposed to including him in the main channel is because even though his business content in many ways is solid, it will get you results if you follow that type of content. The one thing that I have to say is that his way of actually going about his business does not exactly align with my own values, in the sense that he is really about hustle culture. He is really about waking up at 5 in the morning and working for 14 hours straight and doing that day after day after day. You know, him and his wife are very clear that they don't have hobbies. They don't really spend time with friends. They don't really do anything outside work. And they attribute that type of hustle lifestyle that they've had for a while now to their crazy success that they've had financially. So while I agree that that is probably the reason why, in addition to the fact that him and his wife are both fairly intelligent people and know how to move through their business, that type of hustle lifestyle where you just let everything go except work, it doesn't really align with me or my values. So for this reason, I'm giving him an honorable mention. Definitely check out the channel and see if there's business lessons there that would be useful for you. So what I like to do with his channel is I use it in conjunction with 2 of the books that he has that I also follow and have read. And I pull out the business lessons and then I try to think about how can I use those lessons in my life in a way that suits me without working 14 hours a day or dropping all of my friends and relatives and all of that. So for that reason, I'm giving him an honorable mention. And of course, my absolute favorite channel out of all of the channels that are on YouTube is Timebox Digital Media. Yes, that's right. That's my channel. So this is the channel where I teach you every single Tuesday how you can add video to your business. And you can find different videos here that will show you right from a beginner stage all the way to an advanced stage about how to use video marketing. How can you use video for social media? How can you use it to attract clients in the best way possible? How can you use it to just show up as your best self, as your best form of an entrepreneur who is being able to connect with clients by using video? As you know by now, video is king. Video content is king. So you absolutely don't want to be moving too far along in your business without getting on with video. So these are my top recommendations for 2024. So after you watch this YouTube video, I would love if you would let me know in the comments which of these you already follow, which of these are a surprise to you, and any others that I might have forgotten about. See you soon. Now, just a quick word of caution here. It can be very easy for us just to be scrolling on YouTube and finding different random channels that look interesting for 30 seconds and then subscribing right away. The problem is if we end up subscribing to all of these different channels just because we had a random moment of inspiration from them, then we might end up getting tons of notifications from all over the place on our phone all the time. I stopped doing this some time ago. I found that I was actually getting burnt out and overwhelmed with constant notifications about people posting their YouTube content, and then I would go and check out what the video was, but it wouldn't actually be of interest to me. So why am I actually following people who I don't actually intend on learning from on a regular basis, or who aren't providing enough value to me as I'm on my journey? So I encourage you to just follow accounts sparingly. Do the same thing with social media. Don't just follow everybody under the sun because they seem interesting to you for a few seconds. Make sure that they will actually provide value to you at your stage. Follow them intentionally. It is better to follow a small number of accounts, no matter what the platform is, so that you can just get that information, consume something that is going to move you positively forward, instead of just filling your head with all of this random info all the time. Now, I wish each one of you a happy, safe, and prosperous new year. If you haven't added video to your business yet, what are you waiting for? You and me both know that video is going to absolutely be the #1 strategy that people will use to get in front of their audiences. As a business owner, you cannot afford to be left behind. So if you are interested in getting on video, developing camera confidence, using video so that you can launch your programs and your offers, and having a strong video strategy so that you can show up on camera anytime you like, be sure to reach out for me so that I can share details with you about my 3 membership programs that I have that will meet you at your stage of the journey. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and see you again next week. Take care.